Well, first, go ahead and tell these wonderful people about the Faceless Man and the fact that that effect is not a little green thing on there.
Right, yeah, it's interesting because in going around with the movie and playing it in front of different audiences, it's interesting how much people just assume that it's CG or VFX, and it's not. And it's an interesting thing when we tell people, they're just kind of like, you see them kind of like, replay it in their heads like, oh my gosh, yeah, that's right. So it is not. It's all a two-way acrylic mirror, so it's basically the same kind of material they use in police lineups. So as long as what's on the outside is brighter than what's on the inside, it's completely reflective. And it allowed Billy to see where he was going and drive and walk and react. So,
but also watching it, because I found out it was a real mirror.
Yes, yeah.
On Thursday night.
Yeah,
and I thought it was green. How could it be? Which made you a cameraman too. You were, he had to aim the mirror as a secondary.
And what we discovered was I'm not a cameraman.
Yeah. He's a great actor.
The number, the takes over and over and over, and literally having to come within that much of my mark with the face. Nope. Nope. Nope.
Yeah.
I mean, just over and over and over and over and over. That was wacky.
I think after it was done, Billy and I had like a little PTSD or something. Like it was a very tedious thing, and it was interesting. What we learned with the mirror was that basically, like what Billy was saying, it's kind of like a bullet or something, like the trajectory, would like send it off, 100 feet or whatever. So like we had to be very specific, because even the tiniest movement with his chin would reveal, camera, crew, C-stands, trucks, everything.
Or not reveal the other person's face.
Or not,
properly.
Yes, correct.
So high emotion, which means high energy, no. That was...
It had to be very specific. Like,
yeah, no, I mean, it's actually a technical achievement on that front.
Yes, yeah.
It really is. It's funny to watch it that way. Because the story, and of course we have a parental theme with our first two films,
Correct,
I didn't know, because your father wrote
That's right, yeah,
the story
my dad.
it's based on.
He wrote the short story, and he wrote the short story in 2007, 2008, so during the collapse of the American housing market, the Great Recession, and it was, written as a way of, coping with disillusionment and loss of identity and all those things, and waking up and, just kind of being thrown for a loop. And so he wrote the story, and then Sara and I were looking for another short film to do. We had just done our last big one, and we were looking for like new material, and I remember reading it and just being really like so intrigued with this idea. Like I'd really never seen anything like that, and I was like, wow, if we could pull that off as successful in a short film as the story, I think people are going to feel the same way.
Yeah, and it's such an original idea. It's it's such a great, and it's so cinematic that it's so visual.
Yeah.
I don't want the technical side to make us ignore what a great story it is too, and inspiring as well.
Yeah. That was definitely something we were, just going for a lot of themes of, certainly our biggest theme was reflection. So, this character experiencing this loss of identity, and then by, allowing himself to reflect the emotions of others, it sort of gave him his face back, literally and figuratively.
Yeah, when he understands he needs to communicate to these people with the pharmacist. Yeah. I love it. Let's open it up to the audience. Questions? Praise?
Your actors were all so wonderful. How did you find them casting? Like, how did that all come together?
Take it away.
They were mostly mine.
Yeah.
I run a little studio out in Burbank, and
An acting studio?
yeah,
Oh, nice.
yeah.
No.
I've been doing this longer, I think, than anyone in this room has been alive. And I don't teach anything I was ever taught. I teach something different. And mostly what I teach is everything that I fucked up over the last 50 years.
Nice.
And realized that most of the, in terms of the acting stuff, not the life choices, the acting
Not
stuff is not that, no. But I realized that most of what actors screw up in their work is the same stuff. And I teach sort of how to avoid that. So the homeless vet,
Rima.
Rima, the pharmacist, and then I think actually like the best performance in the whole thing is the divorcee putting the lipstick on her mouth. That's Norma Maldonado, and I mean she's a genius. She's just awesome. I wanted a real vet.
Which
so we got
Nate is.
one. Nate
Yeah.
is
A real
Special
vet
Forces.
who plays the homeless vet.
Yeah, thanks. I just thanks. I think they were great.
It was just
They were.
all of you together. It was beautifully cast.
I was really struck by the acting in all of these.
It was wonderful. Yeah.
And just you didn't get to express a lot, in terms of like dialogue and easy shit. That was really special. Where are others? I thought the work that we saw was just really
great.
really extraordinary. It's so easy, I think, particularly in short films, and maybe, well, no, absolutely the most in ours. It's so easy to lose the humanity and the story within the technical stuff that everyone's trying to execute and push boundaries with, and I was really touched by what I saw.
Yeah, and by the way, you two, had you worked together before, or?
We're not. So my
No, we've both been abused by the same
Yeah.
individual.
That's how we know each other. Yeah, my sister is a student, and she was the
Okay.
one who introduced me and Sara to Billy, and
Right. So that's how you lucked out on a veteran actor who everyone recognizes,
Yeah.
who also cast your film for you.
yeah, basically, yeah, and it was
Which really is that is a great angle.
it was super
Filmmakers
lucky, yeah.
think not bad.
it was
Cast someone who will cast the rest.
it was such a stroke of luck that we met because this would not have happened without Billy. I mean, he was really the MVP of this whole thing, and I remember when Sara and I were like just thinking about doing it, and we are like, well, are we going to find a body actor and then cast another actor? Because what are the chances that you're going to find somebody who can do both extremely well? And then we met Billy, of course. I remember going out to lunch, and I was like saying, oh man, it's going to be, I feel like I was like really like trying to talk you out of it. Like, it's going to be hard. And it was.
We shot outside on a 115-degree day, and inside that mask, I'll tell you, it was just revolting.
Yeah. It was,
Do we have? Where are the puka people?
I am
Oh.
a puka person.
Oh wow. Okay. Who was your actor?
His name's Chris Sullivan.
Chris.
Yeah.
I just, and this is kudos to you, choosing movies that have lots of elements and themes in common.
Yeah.
Yeah. These play particularly well
depression, alleviation, Phoenix. I was, as soon as I saw him, of course, in The Mask, I was fascinated because I a long time ago I was very heavily trained in mask work. Years of Lecoq mask technique,
Yeah.
how to become a neutral man, how to begin, none of which is needed in Hollywood.
we're going to start
35 years later, still paying off fucking grad school. But I thought his work and the direction in terms of the imaging that allowed him to actually express himself from inside that thing was just fucking awesome.
Fun.
It was just really, really nice.
She's coming down next.
Oh.
She will be sitting right
all
here.
right.
Nice.
We're going to grill you.
Yeah. I know. And we get to talk to the writer about the
I
puka,
only
which,
wrote it, guys.
but that's exciting because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
that's talk about an original idea.
Yeah.
But not to rob from you guys.
Sure.
Any more questions? Or there we go.
So with the theme of reflection, I noticed that it's a landline in the house. I mean, like, our lives are selfies and looking in and
Yes.
promoting out, and there was no phone in the thing or no.
Yeah, it's interesting, Joe. Like, that's something my parents have a landline. And so that was just something I felt like, the characters probably would. And then also, I'm not the biggest fan of cell phones and that kind of cell phone world. And so I just didn't want to include any of it. I thought we'd go like a little more analog. And
But it works with the theme.
yeah, the prescription is a piece of paper, and, just stuff like that. I thought, and I thought it did make sense for the character being a little bit older, that maybe they're not as tech involved.
And Honda CRVs rock in Jeep movies, right?
Actually, when you said that, it occurred to me that with Nate's film too,
Oh,
cell phones
fuck
would have
yeah,
ruined
man.
it.
That's
If he had
everyone's
just
got
texted his
Honda
mom from his
CRV.
dorm room, it's
That was actually just a practical thing too, because we needed. We had another car for Billy that was more of like a sedan, but we just needed to raise him up so that the actor, the police actor, would not have to dip so far down to get that reflection. So really, it was just made it easier on production.
And liability in
And
case I
liability.
screwed up, and crashed my own fucking
It was
car.
Billy's car. Well, and it was just safer for him to drive it too, because he was driving with.
yeah, that can't be. That
No,
can't
yeah,
be.
no,
Good.
we totally had the permits and insurance and
We had a
everything.
cop there.
Actually, if
It's
you're
cool.
curious, at the Sherman Oaks Film Festival website, we put the behind the scenes video that you guys
Yes. Oh, yeah, we got
shared
a
with
bunch of
us.
them. Sarah.
The behind the scenes you should
cool.
watch for Faceless Man, because
It was wild.
Nutty stuff.
yeah.
Just not a question, a comment. The whole theme of reflection all the way through was fantastic. It was fantastic, and then you get to
Cool,
the final
thank you.
shot, and you see the two of them in the mirror, and then you pan over and you see the two. That worked so well for me.
Thank you,
So,
thank you. Yeah, it's
really well
very.
done.
He so wanted that reality finally of,
Yeah.
of
You had
Hey.
a wonderful film.
and again, I mean, it dovetails into the other movies that you chose, man. I mean,
All of it,
there was so
yeah.
much of that. The cross, finally, and separation, and so
Steady
many of those
cam,
moments.
steady cam. Yeah. Yeah, it was really important to me. Like the very first shot, I always end up bookending everything. I don't know why, but so the very first shot is coming up into a reflection, and the very last shot is coming off of a reflection.
That was great. Great work.
It always happens.
So, with the actors' faces taking up the full frame in the mirror for a majority of these shots, were the actors practically on top of each other to accomplish that with the camera work, or was it like a regular distance for conversation?
No, we had to be pretty close. We did have to be pretty close. There were a few times, like for instance, with the vet leaning in, like when Nate was leaning in, we could, one of the reasons we had him really get in there, into the car, basically come in, was for that reason, just to get them pretty close. But yeah, everybody did have to be, about right here. This
They
is
were
about
all
the
breath distance, I'll tell you.
Yeah, breath distance, for sure.
Not that you can smell.
Zero breath, Billy.
The mask took, well, how many hours was it?
It was about 3 every day.
3 hours to put on, and of course you can't take it off midday. So they're feeding me snap peas through this little fucking hole in my mouth, and yogurt and spoon, and of course
Yeah.
I'd miss, and then that stuff had to just kind of stay there for about 14 hours, just marinating.
It was,
And it was over 100 degrees.
Yeah, it was-
115 degrees. Jesus.
Yeah.
Well,
We survived.
we have another one right there.
The infinity mirror shots without, where was the camera, I guess?
So with that one, that was very interesting. Our production designer, Allie, she's not here, but she found I still have it. We still have it in our apartment. I don't know what we're gonna do with it. A 4 foot by 4 foot piece of acrylic 2-way. So it's this big. So basically, we lined that up, clamped it with C-stands, put the camera literally right up against it. So the lens was on it. We had to boost it up a couple of stops because it got so dark. But yeah, the camera was right up on it. And then, of course, with Billy standing up, it just ping-pongs. So.
Through a two-way into a two-way.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Which makes it
And again, you were
Three-way.
you were the cameraman because the one behind the mirror was stationary,
Yeah.
and so you had to line all that
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. Yeah, boy. Oh man. Jeez.
I'm
Yeah.
not doing that again.
Yeah,
Good thing it's the age of digital, where you don't have to worry about how much film you're burning.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We would run. Our series would be 10 to 15-minute series of just because it was just so much we had to talk through, and we did it.
Anyone else? There we go.
Red line
Can you
producer
guys,
happy.
can you guys talk about your choice in music and your score for this? Because I just love the score in this so much. I know
Yeah.
it was particular why you wanted it.
I don't know why, but I always thought it would be great to have a cool 60s lounge score. It just felt right. And what we did with the art direction, like the poster, like a very Saul Bass kind of a look. And yeah, so we found, with our composer Jack, we just worked on this kind of cool jazzy score. And I always like the score from Birdman. So that was just an inspiration.
Great. Anyone else? All right. I guess it's Puka time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.